Sometimes dreams do come true, and in March, the dream of Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 coming to PC is finally going to become a reality. Of course, this game originally came out on the PS3 and Xbox 360, so it's hardly going to be grabbing the headlines anytime soon, but it's still nice that this game is finally going to make its way to the PC, especially, of course, as we're going to be getting a new entry in the series Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite on the PC as well. Now, unfortunately, we don't know a huge amount about the PC version for Marvel vs. Capcom 3, but we do know the specs needed to run it. Now, of course, as I just said, this game originally came out for the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, so, you don't exactly need a beastly machine to run it, and I'm sure pretty much everyone watching is going to be able to knock this out of the park without even trying, but still, let's go through the minimum and recommended system requirements nonetheless. OS-wise, you'll need of course, Windows 7 or 8.1, hardly surprising. Intel Core 2 Duo, 2.4 GHz or better for the processor. 2 GB of RAM, who even has only 2 GB of RAM, don't know, but it's what you need. Graphics card, you'll need a GeForce GTX 260 or better, DX9 of course, and 16 GB of available space on your hard drive, which in comparison to a lot of games coming out these days is pretty light actually. No, unsurprisingly, they also recommended a Xbox 360 controller for this because, it's a fighting game. While I'm sure there's some mad person watching who plays fighting games with a keyboard and mouse, I would say a controller or a fight stick is probably the optimal experience. However, for the recommended, it turns up the heat on the specs a little, but still at a comfortable simmer, I would say. We have, of course, 7 and 8.1 still for the OS. And processor, you'll need an Intel Core 2 Quad 2.7 GHz or better, 4 GB of RAM will calm down, and a GeForce GTX 560 or better, and of course still 16 GB of available space, so no high-risk texture pack or anything like that available for this. Safe to say that I think most people are going to be able to run this in like 1440p or sometimes even 4K, given that these specs are pretty light, to be honest. But still, I'm just happy that it's coming out on the PC, and hopefully there won't be any major problems. I'll be shocked if there were, to be honest, with the game this old, but, sometimes these things just, they manage to find a way to mess up even despite this. But Capcom have done well with bringing old games to the PC before, like with Dragon's Dogma and so on, so fingers crossed this can happen with Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I'm actually pretty looking forward to getting my teeth stuck into this. Never actually really played it much when it came out, so I'm fully expected to get my arse handed to me by people who have played it before, but it's still going to be a fun experience nonetheless. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.